All right, old school NBA fans, self-research NBA facts. Got another video for you. This was one I was looking at that I was just kind of curious on. Is how do teams do when they have the best record in the NBA? You know, you're the odds-on favorite most likely. Like this year, I don't know if Boston is actually the Vegas favorite to win the title or not, but they have far and away the best record, 64-18. I think OKC, Denver, and Minnesota have 57 wins. I had to look that up. I don't watch the modern NBA. You know, it's not the same sport at all, and you know everybody is star crazy. It's no longer teams matter. It's never about team. It's only about the stars. And I just can't stand it. You know, the moving screens, the traveling, just all the stuff they do makes it seem like, oh man, they're so great. Well, so did those and one guys that were out in the park, you know, that would take the ball and put it in their shirt and twirl it around. Yeah, that looks great too. You know, when there's no rules. You know, I don't know why they don't just outlaw dribbling. You know, it's just become a joke. And people like this NBA, and you know, I know Uncut Hoops says that, well, it's the only one we got. That's fine. For me, I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of going back and watching older games, you know, before I was born, before I was, you know, able to watch these games really, like the 60s and the 70s, some of the 80s in the Western Conference. I never got to see those games, you know, like some of those Western Conference finals in the 80s. Yeah, they were great. You know, I never got to see all those games. No way, you know. Some of them, yeah, but a lot of them I didn't. So to me, that's what I like. But in the last 50 years, there has been 19 teams won the championship when they had the best overall record in the NBA. To me, that seemed kind of low. Like, wow, that's it? But you go back and look, and that's a fact. In fact, from 2018 to now, the team with the best record did not win the NBA title. It's been kind of screwy, and I think a lot of it has to do with the load management, that you play a lot more subs, so the record is a little misleading. I think this year is definitely a better indicator once they up that 65 game thing, so players saw it's going to start affecting their money, like, whoa, slow down there. You know, they all play now, but being the favorite apparently isn't as easy as everybody thinks it is. You got a target on your back, especially if you won the title the year before and you're the defending champion. You know, it becomes harder. It's harder to do. And that's why there's, you know, I think there's only been, 12 teams have repeated. I want to say since Bill Russell, since the Celtics did it, say since 1970, there's only been 12 teams to repeat, and only the 3 teams were, you know, three-peated. Bulls twice and the Lakers in the early 2000s. That's it. But so when I was looking at this, I was kind of stunned. So I looked at the all-time greats and how did they do when they had the best record. So, you know, automatically you're, you know, probably the favorite, right? Well, Bill Russell, in his career, if you count 1958, that's 9 times that he had the best record in the NBA. But he only played parts of 2 games and missed 2 entire games in that particular finals. So you could look at it as if, well, it counts because he did play. So he either was 8-0 when he had the best record in the NBA, or he won 8 out of 9. However you want to look at it on that one. That one, a little sketchy. Wilt Chamberlain won 2 out of 4 when he had the best record. He had the best record in 66, 67, 68, and 72. When he had an historically great team, Wilt won the title. Anything other than that, even when he had the best record, did not win. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 5 times he had the best record in the NBA, only 3 championships. I mean, that's okay, but when you're an all-time great, a top 5 type player, I just expect a little better than that, you know. Magic, 3 times had the best record in the NBA, 2 championships. You know, okay, that's pretty good. The one that he didn't win, though, was in 1990. He lost in the semifinals to Phoenix. That was an upset, you know. People don't ever really talk about the negative, you know. They only want to see the positives. Like, no, there's negative in there too. Larry Bird, 3 out of 6 times. He had the best record 6 times, but only 3 championships. To me, that's okay, but, he left some on the table there. Hakeem Olajuwon never had the best record in the NBA. There's a good reason for that. He had to deal with the Lakers in the 80s. There's some other really good teams in the 90s, but he just never had the supporting cast. He was never going to win 60 games or whatever. It just wasn't going to happen. So he never did. So Michael Jordan, 4 times had the best record in the NBA. And I know in 98 he tied Utah. The Bulls tied Utah. 4 championships out of 4 attempts. No one else can touch that. Say whatever you want about, I know, competition, teammates. I've covered this in a lot of other videos. It's all ridiculous. Just accept the fact that Michael Jordan is the only all-time great to win multiple championships when having multiple best records in the NBA. Accept it. That's what happened. Kobe, only once, in 2000, had the NBA's best record and won the championship. So he's 1 for 1. Tim Duncan, 5 times had the NBA's best record, 3 championships. Again, it's good, but you left at least 1 on the table there. Shaq only twice had the best record in the league, 1 championship. Oscar Robertson, twice, both won Milwaukee with Kareem, 1 championship. LeBron James, 3 times, 2009, 2010, and 2013. 1 championship. To me, that's just not that good. If you're an all-time great, you're thinking you're the GOAT, calling yourself the GOAT, having all these fans and all this media type people calling you the GOAT, the GOAT, the GOAT, then how did you have the best record in the NBA 3 times and get 1 championship? Explain that to me. The other 2, you didn't even make the finals. I mean, for back-to-back seasons, I would say that is the worst letdown, the biggest disappointment ever in consecutive seasons, to have the best record in the NBA, the alleged GOAT, and not even get to the finals either season. I don't want to hear about anything you're going to say, well, his teammate, bull crap. His team was good. They were 39-2 at home in 2009, and they were 26-4 against the West. This team was beating everybody, 66-16, and you get beat by Orlando in 6, and they're missing Jameer Nelson, their all-star point guard, and you're up 16 at the half in game 1. I don't want to hear it. You melted down. That's all there was to it. You choked. Live with it. That's what it is, and that's got to count against them. Kevin Durant, only the 1 time, that was in 2017, won the championship, 1 of 1. Similar to Moses Malone in '83, he joined the Sixers. They became a super team. They won, 1 of 1. Dr. J, 1 of 1. Jerry West, 1 of 1. Kevin Garnett, 1 of 1. I just threw those guys in there. Stephen Curry, 2 out of 3. So in 2015, 16, 17, they had the best record in the league. That was a great run. But in 2016, they got upset. I know Curry was hobbled, Draymond Green got suspended, so on and so forth. But that's what happened. He won 2 out of 3. He definitely has a big black mark, losing 3-1 in the finals, the only team to do so, whatever. But, that's probably pretty much it for this video. Again, why don't people look at this? Being the favorite doesn't really, you got the best team, you got the best record. Well, then how come out of the last, actually 51 years, if you go to 73 Boston, who was 68-14 and didn't even make the finals, another disappointment. They had Havlicek and Cowens and JoJo White and all that stuff, but whatever. In the last 51 years, only 19 teams who had the best overall record in the NBA won the championship. So maybe it's actually harder to win with the NBA's best record, because you got a target on your back or whatever. Well, Michael Jordan had 4 such occasions and had 4 championships. So again, no one has more than, anybody who has 2 or more of that being the case, lost at least once, except for Michael Jordan. Again, this is just another reason why he's the greatest of all time. I mean, So anyway, that's it for this video. A calm truth is more powerful than a passionate lie. Thanks for watching.